The dusty wind of Texas plains carried more than just heat that day. It carried sorrow, shame, and the sound of a woman's trembling breath. Evelyn stood at the edge of the auction yard, her arms wrapped protectively around her baby girl, clutching her close as though the tiny heartbeat beneath her palm was the only thing keeping her alive. Her dress was torn, her eyes hollow, and her spirit bruised by the cruelty of men. Her husband had died 2 months ago in a saloon brawl, leaving her in debt to a ruthless landowner who now saw fit to sell her like a piece of property, child and all. The world had been unkind to Evelyn, but still, she stood straight, chin up, not because she had strength left, but because she refused to let them see her break. When the man on the platform shouted, "A widow and her babe strong enough for ranch work," the crowd muttered and laughed. No one bid at first. Then from the back, a tall man in a worn hat and sun-faded duster stepped forward. His eyes were sharp but not cruel. His boots crunched against the dirt as silence rippled through the crowd. "How much?" he asked, his voice steady, deep, the kind that made people listen without being told to. "For both?" The auctioneer sneered. "You'll be buying more trouble than you can handle, mister." The cowboy didn't flinch. "How much?" The deal was done before Evelyn even understood it. She was led toward the stranger, her heart beating wildly. She clutched her baby closer and whispered a prayer, not of thanks but of confusion. The cowboy tipped his hat low as she approached. "Name's Cole Bennett," he said quietly, looking her in the eyes for the first time. "You and your little one don't belong in a place like that." Evelyn's lips trembled, unsure if she should thank him or fear him. Why would you buy us?" she asked. Cole glanced toward his horse and then back to her. "Because I ain't letting another man own someone who deserves freedom," he said simply. He reached out, gently placing a blanket over her shoulders. "You'll ride with me. You're safe now." Those words, "you're safe now," hit her harder than any blow she'd ever endured. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she climbed onto his horse behind him, her baby pressed against her heart. The wind whipped past as they rode away from the yard, leaving behind the mocking faces, the broken memories, and the chains of her past. For the first time in years, she dared to breathe. Cole's ranch was a quiet stretch of land nestled between rolling hills and endless sky. It wasn't grand, but it was peaceful, honest. He worked from dawn till dusk, tending cattle and repairing fences while Evelyn helped where she could. Her hands, once soft and gentle, found purpose again in the rhythm of daily life. She cooked, cleaned, and sang softly to her baby under the glow of the oil lamp each night. Cole never treated her like property. He spoke to her like an equal. Slowly, the fear in her eyes began to fade. Yet deep down, she wondered what debt she owed him, what he might expect in return. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in strokes of crimson and gold, Evelyn stood on the porch, holding her sleeping child. Cole came up behind her, his hat in hand, his face etched with something between courage and tenderness. "Evelyn," he began softly, "I didn't bring you here to owe me anything. You don't belong to me. You and that little one, you belong to yourselves." She looked at him, her heart aching at his kindness. "Then why?" she whispered. His jaw tightened, eyes fixed on the horizon. "Because I know what it means to lose everything. My wife and son, they were taken by fever 3 winters back. When I saw you holding your baby, I saw what I once had. I couldn't let you lose yours." The next morning, Cole found her mending a torn shirt near the fire. Her baby crawled nearby, giggling softly. The laughter filled the cabin with warmth. He watched her, that same ache stirring in his chest, the ache of something coming back to life. "Evelyn," he said again, but this time his voice held a quiet strength. "I can't offer much. My life's simple. My land's hard. But if you'd have me, I'd like to be father to your child. And husband to you." She froze, her eyes wide with disbelief. No man had ever offered her love without a price. "You don't even know me," she murmured. "I know enough," he said, stepping closer. "I know you're brave, loyal, and stronger than most men I've met." "That's more than enough." Tears welled in her eyes again, but these were different, tears of hope, of healing. "And my daughter?" she asked, her voice breaking. Cole knelt down, taking the little girl's tiny hand in his rough ones. "She'll have my name, my land, and my heart. I'll be father and husband both." Evelyn's knees gave way as she fell into his arms, sobbing against his chest. For so long she had lived in fear and darkness, But now she felt the warmth of something pure, something worth living for. That night the stars shone brighter than they had in years. The wind whispered through the pines like a hymn of new beginnings. The woman who had been sold like property now stood as a wife, a mother, and a free soul beside a man who saw her not as a burden, but as a blessing. Their love wasn't loud or fancy, it was quiet, built from kindness, trust, and shared pain turned into strength. And in that silence, Evelyn found her forever home. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming cowboy tales of courage, redemption, and love that rises from the dust. Every story is a reminder that no matter how broken life seems, there's always hope waiting just beyond the sunset.